Not a YouTuber, just like making videos. Now, I want you to take a gander at this guy's ugly mug right here. Now, upon looking at this guy, you would say he looks like some sort of creeper, some sort of pedophile, some sort of serial killer. And you'd be right. This is Otis Toole. I don't know how many people this guy's killed. I don't even know if he knows. But he's most famous for the abduction of Adam Walsh's son. Adam Walsh, the dude who is the host of America's Most Wanted. He abducted his child, kidnapped his child, raped him, severed his head, and threw the decapitated head off into a moat somewhere. The kid was only like 7 or 8 years old. Now, this dude is grotesque looking. Now, it's safe to say that his own mother called him ugly. But, you know what I'm saying? But since this is the black channel, since I'm considered pro-black, I'm going to tie it into black people. You know, and I'm just looking at this guy, and I wondered, would this guy be profiled just walking into the store like the average black guy would be? Now, he kidnapped Adam Walsh's son in broad daylight in the middle of the day in a crowded Sears department store. And I wonder if a black guy could have done the same thing, go into a crowded mall or whatever and just grabbed a little white boy and drag him to his car without that hat arousing suspicion. No, not likely. I wonder if Otis Toole, this dude who looks like half man, half monster, if he was walking in the same apartment complex where Trayvon Martin got murdered, would George Zimmerman look at this guy with suspicion as he's walking around? You know, or George Zimmerman would just be lackadaisical and think nothing of it because he sees that white skin. The thing is, the black man has become the convenient criminal. Now, get where I'm getting at. You know, animals, you know, they like to survey their surroundings and determine which animal is a threat to them or not. Human beings try to do the same thing. You know, human beings are the greatest threat to other human beings. So therefore, we want to profile. We want to analyze and see what human being is more of a threat to us or will be involved in mischievous doings. That's why black men are so easily shot by police officers, just by knocking on people's doors, by being locked out of their own house like Henry Gates, and someone called the cops because they think that there's a burglar. Their suspicion is automatically aroused when they see a black man, the convenient criminal, somebody they can just immediately identify, you know, as the bad guy. And the black man has become the proverbial bad guy in this country. Now, my people will say, why am I talking about serial killers? Black people, we got enough problems to talk about serial killers. Now, first of all, you know what I'm saying, the problems in the black community, that's another video. I'm going to talk about this. Thing is with serial killers, people look at them as like rare, like Halley's Comet. No, the FBI has estimated there's upwards to 45 to 50 serial killers active in the U.S. right now, you know what I'm saying, being chased after. There are roughly 400 to 500 victims of serial killers every year. These are the ones that they find, you know what I'm saying. There's probably buried people that they haven't even found yet. And I think about, you know, how last year the knockout game was so sensationalized. But, you know, you still had all these victims of serial killers. The reason why people don't talk about it today as much is because there will have to be a serial killer to outdo Jeffrey Dahmer to grab people's attention, you know, because we kind of been desensitized to it. But yeah, they're still catching them. You know, they're still on their trail. And I'm not talking about just the white serial killers, but you got serial bank robbers, serial rapists, You know what I'm saying, just all sorts of dastardly individuals. You know, it's just right now with the wheels of propaganda, they almost make it seems like criminal activity is just solely an endeavor of black people. Now, I have arguments with white people, and they always talk about the amount of crime black people commit per population. And for someone to just ignore, you know what I'm saying, the things white criminals have done and are doing now, that means you're disingenuous. It means you're a piece of shit. You're trying to use logic to mask your racism. White people have committed and still are committing some of the most heinous crimes in American history. You know what I'm saying? White criminals have retired police officers and retired FBI agents. You know, they create masterpieces of horror. But you know what I'm saying? That's why you have all these specialty police, FBI. They go after the more clever and serious criminals. The typical dude, the thug or the ignorant slewfoot walking down the street, I'm like, you know, come on. You know, he sticks out like a sore thumb. You know, but the thing is, with this concept of white privilege and that the black man being the convenient criminal, it makes the white criminal a lot more elusive and a lot more deadly, because that's one of his greatest weapons on his side is his whiteness. The fact that he's not going to immediately arouse suspicion. So it don't matter how many white serial killers, serial rapists that they catch. You know what I mean? People are still going to look at the black man as the proverbial bad guy, because that's what they need. You know what I'm saying? Human beings want to be able to instantly profile people and determine what's a threat. But you can't, you know. And there's two kinds of profiling. There's the ones because the average human thinks he's a fucking detective, and I'll point at somebody and say, oh, that's the bad guy. And then there's FBI profiling, where they actually talk to somebody and interview somebody and give them a series of questions and determining how they answer. You know what I mean? They put them in they want to put them in a certain category. But when you look at the body toll of serial killers and the impact. So here's the impact of a serial killer. Now, you look at the south side of Chicago and you be like, oh, you know what I mean, black people killing black people. You know, instead of talking about black, you know what I'm saying, black on black crime, let's talk about human on human crime. Why not say that? Since human beings are the greatest threat to other human beings. You know what I mean? There's no place in America that you're safe. See, with the black man, you say, oh, that's the bad guy right there. This black, decrepit area, this neighborhood, this is where all the bad stuff happens. We can avoid this, we'll be safe. There's nowhere you're safe in this goddamn country. America is the serial killer capital of the world. We produce more serial killers than any other country, and we gotta think about it. We have to say, why is that? What's going on? What's in the water that's creating all these psychopathic killers, these monsters, these demons? And let's say you have Chicago and all the violence that goes on there. Let word get out there's a serial killer on the loose. Let the police get on TV and say, hey man, we're trying to abduct a serial killer that's been seen in this area. You know, I mean, look at the panic wave that it will cause. Now, people will lock their doors because they know serial killers don't play. They're random. They don't discriminate against anybody or discriminate against what neighborhood they're going to strike at. You know, they'll come and they'll grab somebody in the middle of the day in a goddamn shopping mall around a bunch of people. Serial killers have been bold to run up to people, actually in broad daylight, grab them, take them to their car and spin off. I'm like, these guys, they don't give a fuck. It's like serial killers, you know, they have like an urge to kill. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's take Pee Wee Gadsden, a guy that's claimed to have killed 105 people. You know, they say that when he goes on when he's ready to kill, he starts shaking violently. And he said he won't stop shaking until somebody is dead. And serial killers are tricky because, you know, first of all, when people come across when the police find a dead body or whatever, you know what I mean, they can't just automatically say a serial killer killed that person, murdered that person. They have to find a pattern, you know, and that's the thing. So while they're investigating one murder, the killer is going off killing. Even when the serial killer knows cops are on their trail, since they have this urge to continue to kill, you know, it's hard. And the fact that they're random and the fact that they're white, you know, the concept of white privilege has hurt, you know what I'm saying, police investigators. You know, it makes these maniacs so much more elusive or take lightly, because the FBI aren't. That's why you have these specialty police that go after the more serious and clever of killers. And now the thing is also, yes, there are black serial killers. Matter of fact, the dude that they called in 2013, what they dubbed the Ghost of Baton Rouge, I forgot this guy's name. He was a black serial killer. And that's the thing, even though black people are profiled, there are certain black people that are even profiled more. Meaning the black serial killer is going to come off somebody with his shirt tucked in his pants. Just like the Ghost of Baton Rouge, this guy spoke real eloquent. This guy, you know what I'm saying, was very articulate. They say he was charming. You know, he seemed harmless. You know, a black serial killer is not going to look like the slew-footed thug that we love to profile. There are people that you're going to have a hard time profiling. And yeah, there have been and serial killers, you know what I'm saying, like over 75% of their victims are women. 70, it's just majority of their victims are women. And a black serial killer, yeah, serial killers predominantly stay with their race. There's been exceptions like Jeffrey Dahmer. And some serial killers are known to kill both races, or they'll make, like McDuff, you know what I'm saying, mainly kill white women, but every now and then they will go and kill a black woman. And there's also a guy named Bobby Joe Long who has killed black women as well as white women. But bear in mind, black woman isn't as valuable as a white female. So therefore, when a black woman comes up missing, they're not going to just, you know, puts that much time and research and finding them. And the thing is, we've all walked in convenience stores where we've seen missing persons. When you see a poster of a missing person, that could be a victim of a serial killer. Yeah, no, I'm like, because every victim of a serial killer at one time had to been on a missing person poster. You see what I mean? So it's more serious than we think it is. That we could have contact with serial killers and victims of serial killers all the time, and we don't think about it because, you know, propaganda. And right now, the propaganda is on the black man, the thug, the knockout game, or whatever. And serial killers is just, people think they have it all figured out. Now, you know, a father in the household and this and that. If you do this, you end crime. But serial killers are born. You know what I'm saying? Their brains are hardwired different. You know, you're dealing with people that have a urge to kill. That you know, it's like, you know what I'm saying, that they're possessed. Oh yeah, the body count of black women are rising. I do feel in the future, serial killers are going to be targeting black women even more. Matter of fact, there's one guy, his name is Paul, I can't remember his last name, maybe I'll put it down in the comment section. But he was actually a cab driver, a black cab driver that specifically targeted black single women. That's the thing. I think the stringy-haired white women is played out. Now, people are like, yeah, because a lot of them would be like, damn, if I kill a black female, then there's a greater chance of me getting away with it more. Because they're not going to give, you know what I'm saying, put that much time and resources to a black female, especially a black female who's a stripper or a prostitute or known around the neighborhood as some sort of hood rat and so forth. And they look at every black man as a criminal anyway, and they say, well, she could have been killed by a number of people. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the hood will be a suspect. But that's all I want to say. Thanks for watching, and sally forth and watch out.